There, I can't get in because of my nationality, because I'm Georgian, because of my culture. Even with my tent, my education, my fate with diplomas, my professors. No, we won't get in. It's impossible. My heart will get in, though. This heart that beats first for God and then for my fellow man. So when I have to choose who to give my heart, and give it to God first, there will be a place left for you. That's why the first commandment is this. And then the second, God and your neighbor. Not your neighbor and God, as modern liberal theology has twisted it, turning it into humanism. Love people and leave a little for God. No, friends, love is the love of God. And then comes your neighbor. This neighbor sometimes even turns into your enemy, which is why love for your enemy was added right here. The person who is your beloved neighbor today may become your enemy tomorrow. This is what happened to Paul. His neighbor Judas turned into his enemy. But the Savior proved the love of the Father and the love for one's neighbor, even extending love to that of an enemy. He surely prayed and pleaded for Judas, but he could not exert pressure because pressure is not possible. No one can force it. Not even God could force Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Likewise, how could Jesus have forced Judas? With just one word, he could have stopped him, but he didn't. Why? Because by doing so, he would have turned a person into a robot and lost the essence of humanity. Reducing a created human being to automatism would be a contradiction, which is why Judas chose hell of his own free will. So, my dear ones, rule out any form of coercion. Stop blaming others, saying things like, that person led me astray, or I followed them and they betrayed me. Instead, turn to yourself. Let's set aside empty excuses and once and for all face who we truly are, no matter how unpleasant. Take a good look inside. God will not enter until you are clean, just as a rector will not enter until the place is clean. You shouldn't be afraid of being called trash. Let them say it. Look at Paul. His whole life and story are spread throughout the New Testament, and yet we remain comfortable Christians. We want to be seen as clever, but when certain issues or situations arise, that's when you see who the true Christians are. You are a true Christian only when many people insult and curse you because you choose Christ and Christ alone. If you mix your intellect into it anywhere, that means it's a betrayal of Christ. I no longer see any intellect in Paul himself because he was an educated man and could have told us so much about ancient literature. If he had said something about it, it would have seemed like nothing compared to the risen Christ, almost faded. That's why a person obsessed with literature, like Levan Betzenishvili, can't read this book. This book isn't for him. For him, literature is what's in his head. He's interested in dead men, in the affairs of dead men. If this literature is just a fairy tale, then it's nothing. Here in the city, there's real life, Mr. Levan, and if you want to taste life, you should come here. Otherwise, you're just putting on airs, God is watching you, and you'll end up just like Herod Agrippa I did, bursting apart. And neither sleep nor the Russians nor even Marcel Proust can save you. And forget about reading The Magic Mountain Eka. Not even Nicholas Baratashvili's poems will get you close to him. No one is saved by Nicholas Baratashvili's poems. By the way, this is something else. This is art. This is something different. What does this have to do with Christ? Paul didn't have a poetic gift. He didn't write poems. Can you believe it? The man knew the ancient poets. There are some hints here and there. But then he himself said, I will speak of nothing else, only of the crucified Jesus Christ. He said this in one of his letters. Do you know that? Have you read it? See, he swore an oath not to preach about anything except the risen Jesus Christ. If someone preaches about anything other than the risen Jesus Christ today, that person is crazy, just as too much learning can drive you mad. They'll say the same about me, and let's say it too. Didn't one guy say, too much learning has made you mad? This idiot quoted that to me. I didn't even bother to respond. He was an old man. You're sitting in Festus' seat, so where is your business? Everyone loves to chase after you. Klaus, too. He's a bit much. Don't chase after me. If you want to compete, compete with me in loving God and show it in practice. Don't criticize me. If you want to compete, outdo me. If they mistreat me, that's even better. Now say this, I don't agree with you, or I agree with you. You agree with me on some things, but not on others. What's the point of competing over such nonsense? What does it prove? Like Barnabas and Paul, they competed in love. Peter and the others too, they competed in loving Christ. Competing in love will save us more than trying to outdo each other in knowledge. Today, the whole theological world is divided by who knows more. Here too people compete. Look, for example, at Baqradze. He picked up the Bible and started working. That's what's important, isn't it? That's the main thing. Thank God that he went to his grandmother and read this. Learned from it, Ket. But the first thing you should discover, the first thing the book tells us, is that you are unworthy. Second, you are saved by faith. If you read it and it becomes a burden on you, you start to look down on others, put on a holy face, and use Christ for your own purposes. This is what the entire history of the Georgian church has been, using Christ just as he is used today. This kind of friendship will confront us again. Look, even Agrippa knows the traditions. The book is being read, be sure of it. It moves into the synagogue, be certain of that, just as it happens today. There are so many in the Trinity Church in Georgia, but what then? Agrippa is a Christian, and just a little more and you'll make me a Christian too. Just a little more, he mocks. What nonsense are you talking about? And Paul is praying. What kind of prayer is this? This is a prayer to God. But he can't have that kind of influence. He's praying to put Agrippa in such a state up to death so that he comes to God. We don't know what Agrippa was really like, but history tells us that neither of them accepted it, neither one nor the other. This was some kind of cursed lineage, and it continued, just like Esau, I will endure it to the end. Satan, filled with rage, is pursuing Jacob to kill him, and Jacob runs away, fleeing beyond the mountain. Then, when he comes back, look again at how frightened Jacob is, and God brings him down. There was a covenant, but what did Anna do? She separated them, but this enmity never ended, like an enemy laying pipes for you. These are the first enemies. If we look at the history of Israel, at biblical history, do you remember? These are his descendants, these mysterious Edomites, the same as Esau's line. This is the family of Herod the Great, who changed this kingdom, emphasizing servitude.